Hello students, how do you do? Have you tried the activity which I showed in the last class? When I was small like you, I also learned how to make card under the guidance of my mother. Still now when I do it, I enjoy it a lot. It is a small thing but not insignificant as the microorganisms are. They are small, invisible, but their actions cannot be ignored. Some of the actions are helpful, some of the actions are harmful to mankind. So let us start with friendly microorganisms. Curd, pickles, cheese, this can be by the help of some bacteria, this type of food items can be made, that the other day we learned about. Now another small activity can be done, say about some amount of wheat flour or maida if you take and add little amount of sugar to it, then small amount of yeast powder can be added to this and need to make a soft dough and keep it for few hours. After some time you will find that is the dough has raised. So here you see that is maida with yeast powder which is there, and after some time this dough which was up to this much, it has raised, right? And why it has raised? Yeast you learned about in class 7. It is a fungi. It reproduces by budding. So when we add yeast to this maida, yeast, it reproduces rapidly and produces carbon dioxide during respiration. When it respires, so it produces carbon dioxide. Bubbles of the gas fill the dough and increases its volume. So the dough is raised because of respiration by yeast. This is the basis of use of yeast in baking industry for making breads, pastries and cakes. Actually when they bake it, this gas which escapes and makes it soft, spongy and flappy. So in the bread industry, yeast can which is added used. Next, commercial use of microorganisms. Microorganisms are used for large scale production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid, which also we say vinegar. So alcohol, wine and acetic acid or vinegar. Yeast is used for commercial production of alcohol and wine. Wine actually it is an alcoholic beverage. For this purpose, yeast is grown on natural sugars present in grains like barley, wheat, rice and crushed fruit juices. And it is been fermented and after that we get alcohol or wine. So here you have got one term, that is fermentation. Now what is fermentation? When the process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. Louis Pasteur, who is also called the father of bacteriology, discovered fermentation in 1857. See his picture also given over here. Louis Pasteur discovered fermentation in the year 1857. It is actually anaerobic type of it is anaerobic respiration by these small organisms like yeast and other bacteria. So here the commercial scale in the bakery and the brewery, that is in the bread industry and wine industry, these microorganisms are used. Next, medicinal use of microorganisms. Medicinal use of microorganisms. See, whenever you fall ill, the doctor may give you some antibiotic tablets, capsules or injections such as of penicillin. The source of these medicines is microorganisms. Nowadays antibiotics, this is very common to us. Many of us you might have taken it or you have heard about this, right? Now what are antibiotics? Actually, these are kind of medicines, and the source of these medicines is microorganisms. The source of these medicines is microorganisms. These medicines kill or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms. So either it kills or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms. So it is organic substances obtained from microorganisms and are used to kill or stop the growth of the microorganisms. That means microorganisms are the cause and they are the remedies. Such medicines are called antibiotics. So the medicines which kill or stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms are called antibiotics. These days, a number of antibiotics are being produced from bacteria and fungi. So, the first antibiotic, that was penicillin. After that, nowadays many other which have been produced. Among this, streptomycin, tetracycline, erythromycin, these are the examples of antibiotic. And it is quite interesting to know about how it was discovered. You see, in 1929, Alexander Fleming was working on culture of disease causing bacteria. Actually, he was not working on the fungi from which we have got the first antibiotic. Rather, he has been working with some disease causing bacteria. Suddenly, he found the spores of a little green mold in one of his culture plates. He observed the presence of the mold prevented the growth of bacteria. Actually, he was growing some bacteria, he was working on that, and he saw that is due to the presence of some green mold on in the culture plate. It prevents the growth of the bacteria he was working on. In fact, it is also killed many of these bacteria. From this, the mold penicillin was prepared. Penicillin, the antibiotic. Okay, so streptomycin, tetracycline, and erythromycin are some of the commonly known antibiotics which are made from fungi and bacteria. So these antibiotics which are made from fungi and bacteria. The antibiotics are manufactured by growing specific microorganisms and are used to cure a variety of diseases. So it can cure a variety of diseases. Antibiotics are even mixed with the feed of livestock and poultry to check microbial infections in animals. So it is not only effective in human body, in case of the to control the disease causing microorganisms in the body of animals also it is being used. They are also used in control of many plant diseases. So plant and animal diseases are also being controlled by using antibiotics. But while we use the antibiotics, we must take certain precautions. What are these? Let us learn. It is important to remember that antibiotics should be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. So it should be taken only the advice of a qualified doctor. So when we after consulting a doctor, we can take the antibiotic. Also, you must finish the course prescribed by the doctor. The course, that means the number of days or the dose and the days, that is how much quantity in a day and how many days it has to be taken. If you take antibiotics when not needed or in wrong doses, it may make the drug less effective. So why should not we do this, that is without consulting a doctor and in wrong doses? If we take this, if we do so, so when in future it will be needed, it may not work. Actually, say about the doctor says to take 3 tablets per day for 5 days. After 2 days, when we feel a little bit better, so we stop taking this. And if we do this, simply that is wrong thing to do, because in future it will not work. Also, antibiotics taken unnecessarily may kill beneficial bacteria. Not only it will be less effective, but also if we take unnecessarily, antibiotic may kill the beneficial bacteria. in the body. So there are some beneficial bacteria are also there in body. Antibiotics, however, are not effective against cold and flu, as these are caused by viruses. That means antibiotics are not effective in case of viral infections. So because of that, we need to know, that is, we should consult a doctor. Secondly, the doses prescribed by the doctor, and the course we must finish it. So these are the precautions we should take while we take antibiotics. So today up to this much. Thank you, children.